Texture. Whenever you hear the term surface quality, I want you to associate that with texture, how something feels. But there's another texture, how something looks like it might feel, and that's implied texture that a lot of two-dimensional artists, painters, and people that draw use a lot. And so we're going to learn how to create implied texture and how that can create visual interest on surface qualities. So you're going to need to know what does implied texture mean and how can you incorporate it to enhance your artwork. Key vocabulary again is texture, real or actual texture, and implied texture. So today I want you also to think about, we're on day 36, I want you to think about how you could possibly use really good descriptive words describing texture. So think just for a moment, what are some descriptive textural words? How about slimy? Rough and smooth, that always comes to mind first. Bumpy, rigid, angular. You probably can come up with much better ones than that. We're going to review our pointillism assignment from yesterday, and I'm going to give you the textural assignment so that you can work on that all week. Go to your Pinterest page, or our class Pinterest page rather, and find the unit on texture. Great examples of different types of texture. We talked about this poster on texture. I have that hanging up in the room as well, and how the artist Chuck Close was able to draw and also paint texture of this man's beard stubble and the hair and the glass. So this is all implied texture. If you were to run your hand over this artwork, which heaven forbid you would ever do, you would be able to tell it's smooth, it's perfectly smooth, but it definitely does not look perfectly smooth. Okay. Whoops. We watched 3 videos also on this texture unit. We listened to implied texture. These are like 1 minute or less definition pages. Please look at that one. At real texture, texture, all 3 of those. And then you're going to scroll down. And I would love for you to watch this one. There's not a whole lot of talking in this one, but pay attention to when he says the edges and what he does to the edges of the plain straight cubes, what he does to make implied texture. It's a really good video if you're still unsure of how to proceed. Great drawing, implied texture. It looks like a rope. It looks like it would feel like a rope. Okay, so there are some visual textures here. And again, rough, rocky, furry, hairy, some different ideas for your projects. And go all the way down. And you're going to watch this video. It's a little bit longer. You definitely need to watch that one. We did today. Read this one. Okay, and now I'm going to show you what project we worked on. We first finished the background to our pointillism hand using a different set of complementary colors. So you can see this person used, Aaron rather, he used purple and yellow, or violet and yellow, complementary color set as his frame. Then he used a different combination, orange and blue, for the background of the hand. And we're not going to fill in the inside of it just yet, okay? Notice his dots are a little bit bigger for the background, and that is perfectly fine. Okay, I inspired them by showing them some other student artwork that is all pointillism. So no complaining about how many dots you have to use. These were in an art show last year or the year before. There's another one, great design. So much you can do just with dots. And we have George Seurat, or Seurat, George Seurat, to thank for that. All right, So I showed them this example. This is something I have a lot of my middle schoolers do. It's showing implied texture on a hand, kind of breaking out of the earth, right? All right, so a lot of the students have not had art in a while. So we're going to start with this one. But as high schoolers, you are going to transform the last hand that you have on your piece of paper into implied texture. You are to choose one of these textures that I'm showing you and incorporate one of your own. So it could be fur. It could be something completely different, different texture than what I've mentioned so far. So come up with a second texture. Your hand will have two textures on it. I would not divide it, you know, in half like this or in half like that. If you chose brick, you could have the bricks down here gradually, and then maybe the rest of the hand is tied with rope, or barbed wire is wrapped around it, or roses with vines on them. Okay, so it's not just a simple line drawing. When we look at simple line drawings, you will note that they are outlines, contour lines. And even if they have texture drawn on them, I want you to enhance your drawing by adding value, which we've already covered, and which is going to make your drawing go from a simple line drawing, okay, like this, and you're going to add texture to your drawing and value. So implied texture, making it look like that's a cactus, okay? But it's on a flat piece of paper, so that's implied texture. The next step, and this is due in 3 days, the next step is to add the color to this, and we want the realistic colors. So if you go for bricks, you know that bricks are not just red bricks or white bricks, and we need to see the grout color in between. We need to see all the different shades and tones of bricks, the texture on each of the bricks. Okay, and you're going to be using colored pencils for this assignment. So you're first going to draw it in pencil and then in colored pencil. And again, you're drawing two textures over the entire hand. So yours is going to transform from this. Okay, we're not copying this, we're transforming it. So you're going to have to use your skill when drawing with value, which is the range from light to dark. That's going to enhance the picture, as is the implied texture, and I look forward to seeing those. And that is the last part of our hand project. Okay, you are welcome to use resources online to get an idea. You just can't trace. Okay, and here's our board. Zoom in on that. If you missed class today, this is what's up on our board. So you need to know what implied texture means and how incorporating it will enhance your artwork. And we're actually doing that. We're going to enhance a flat traced hand so that it appears as though it has texture on it, real texture. Okay, thanks, and hope to see you tomorrow.